Hello there viewers, welcome back to another episode of a Tactic Tester here on Omega Loot Gaming. I could get used to this. We have another Ryan Cassidy tactic. Of course, Ryan Cassidy is the man in my Discord community who creates all of the beautiful tactics you have seen and are using if you are friendly with my community. If you are not, please join the Discord down below. So many people, we have nearly I think it's 600. We might have surpassed 600 people now, all who love to chat FM, or who love to share their tactics, their tips, players that they have bought, their stories that they are doing right now, and of course you get all the downloads such as the tactics of Ryan Cassidy, such as my man Snook, who now has the role of the training schedule. He has created some unbelievable training schedules, and I'm waiting for him to do a few more so that we can start spotlighting them on the channel as well. All of those links to the downloads there are in the description to my Discord, so please join the Discord. But yes, we're looking at another Ryan Cassidy tactic, a very mysterious style. I've never seen this formation made, so hear me out when we have a look at it, because I think you're going to be very surprised with what we have on our hands. So here we have it. This is the tactic we have for us today. An attacking 3-3-3-1 DM AM wingback wide. And he has called it El-Loco, which I do believe is crazy in Spanish terms. Now, it is crazy, isn't it? By the looks of it, it is absolutely crazy. We have three at the back here, ball playing defenders and a centre defence on cover. Of course, goalkeeper as well, sweeper keeper on defend. In front of them, though, we have another three. Two inverted wingbacks on automatic, so that depends on whether you are set to attacking. If you are set to defending, it will do those roles automatically, in case you're wondering what that meant. In front of them, though, we have the defensive midfielder on support, a role which, to be quite honest, is not that used that much. I usually prefer a deep line playmaker, but the roles for a defensive midfielder are slightly different. There it is. You can see it there. Pause it if you want to have a look. But we have that in this tactic. In front of them, though, another front three. We have two inverted wingers, both on attack. So we have inverted wingbacks and inverted wingers. So weird, but we'll go with it. It's Ryan Cassidy. He knows his stuff. We also have an attacking midfielder on support in behind the striker as a deep line forward. So really these two are going to be sort of like intertwining with each other, linking up with each other as the attacking midfielder runs through, supporting the striker who is deeper than what usually a striker would be. The player instructions itself I won't go through, but of course if you come to the Discord you can download the direct tactic itself. You will get that. Now, mentality is attacking. In possession, as you can see, it's kept very simple. Work the ball into the box, because that is quite an overpowered thing this year. If you don't have work the ball into the box, you waste a lot of chances shooting from range. We have low crosses in the final third, a very attacking width. We are playing out of defence with a shorter directness but a higher tempo. Everything else left off. In transition, of course, we had the gegenpress. It is the best. We know it is, really. Distributing to the centre-backs, because we have three, two of them being ball playing through a short goal kick. Nothing too hastily or slowing it down, just the usual. And out of possession. Using the offside trap, we have much higher line of engagement, much higher defensive line, as high up the pitch as we can possibly get. Using tight marking, preventing the short distribution from the goalkeeper, the opposition, and being very extremely urgent. We're pressing them. As soon as they get the ball, we are on that straight away, and we're getting stuck in as well. We're not afraid to chuck the tackles around higher up the pitch. Defensive width, we are narrow as well, so as soon as we lose the ball, we compact back into our little box that we have. All the threes sort of combine, and I'm quite interested to see how this plays out. Now, the teams that I have selected, I have chosen Manchester United, and the reason why I have chosen Manchester United is because usually I stay away from the Premier League because they have so many really good teams. It's hard to decipher whether this tactic does quite well. However, I've also struggled to find a tactic on Tactic Tester that has been successful with Manchester United. And I think this tactic, it doesn't work with Manchester United one bit. And I'm quite intrigued with how they adapt to it and how it performs with it. So I've done about 3 or 4 of these tests. This has come out the best one. So, little bit of a spoiler. What are the other two teams? Manchester United, by the way, are predicted to finish in 5th place this league campaign. I'm not signing any players. I'm not doing anything like that. And I'll go over the game status and we're going to talk about that in a sec. So the next team we have up is Hoffenheim. And of course, they are in the Bundesliga, which I consider actually be more difficult to win than the Premier League, which is saying something, really. The amount of different teams that I've seen win the Bundesliga is unbelievable. Even our own Dr. Benji struggled to win the Bundesliga. And here we have a team who I think actually really suit this tactic role by role, player role that is. They already have majority of the players, as you can see with the little fill-up bar here, really do suit this role. So I'm quite intrigued. In the Bundesliga itself, obviously we have Manchester United who are predicted to finish in 5th, Hoffenheim in 7th place. So outside of the group that I would consider to be the top of the table. Finally then, the last team that we have here is Braga. Again, I picked them because really they're just outside of that top echelon of clubs in Portugal, the big three that we all seem to know about, Sporting, Porto and Benfica. Then it's Braga most of the time. They've been there or thereabouts for the last few years now. But their side really suits this tactic. So I'm quite intrigued with how El-Loco works in Portugal with a team like Braga, who man for man probably have the best team out of the three here fitting these roles. So this could be very interesting. So then, without further ado, let's skip forward one season in the future. We'll have a look at the game status, make sure I'm not using any cheating tactics. And then we will have a look at the results of these three teams using Ryan Cassidy's El-Loco. So here is the game status, as you can see on the 1st of June 2020. The game has been saved 3 times. That is, one, the first time round when you first load the game and you have to pick a save game file. Second is when I had loaded all of the 3 clubs with the tactics so that I could bring you that page before that because I record these after. And the third time is this point so I can load up this point when it's finished on the 1st of June 2020. Now the in-game editor is not used. I haven't taken out any injuries. I haven't signed any players. None of that funny business. I've literally just left the 3 clubs as they are and there's already a spoiler on the screen. Yes, unfortunately, we were sacked from Hoffenheim. Now, we're going to have a brief look at how it did because we were sacked here. So they've actually sacked 2 managers. They've actually sacked 2 managers since. So we were sacked in January. Not that good. So if we do have a look at Hoffenheim in January, we'll go to here and past positions. We will select Hoffenheim here. Now, January, if we suggest, is halfway through the season. We are down the bottom half of the table. And as you can see, a very ropey start to the season. Hoffenheim just did not work. However, don't turn off just yet. And this is exactly why you shouldn't turn off just yet. El-Loco turns out Manchester United, we won the title. Just 2 losses the whole season and 6 draws, Man City and Chelsea. So we only lost 2 games and they were by 1-0 deficits. That is unbelievable stuff. Anthony Martial with the most goals in the season, joint with Jamie Vardy on 19. That's rather low, but we do have Bruno Fernandes on 16 assists with a high average rating, so that's absolutely fantastic. Let's look more into stats-wise then. Most goals scored, we scored 91 goals with this tactic. Phenomenal stuff. Possession, I'm quite curious about the possession. 7th place, 50%. So because it's a gegenpress, we didn't actually hold the ball as long when we do win the ball off them, although we are playing a much shorter passing. We're being very direct with it, so that's the reason why that happens. Clean sheets, we're sat in 3rd place of clean sheets, 20 clean sheets in total, but you do not need that many clean sheets when you're scoring that many goals, and we have done just that. Fouls made, we're not up there either, which I'm quite curious with, because of course we had get stuck in on. Now let's have a look at the other competitions. We also won the FA Cup, and we were knocked out of the semi-final of the Carabao Cup, so we got a domestic double here, the Premier League and the FA Cup, and we were knocked out of the quarter-finals by Tottenham in the Europa League. My dad would have been very happy because then Tottenham went on to win it, so that's unfortunate for this save. But anyway, I think this is really successful. For Manchester United, no players brought in, and I'll show you that now. Transfer history, here we go. So the last signing was Odion Ighalo. As you can see there, the 24th of the 6th. So that was last season. No signings whatsoever. It done really well. Squad-wise then, the most goals scored was Anthony Martial on 27 goals and 9 assists. Marcus Rashford, 19 goals, 10 assists. Bruno Fernandes, though, player of the season, 13 goals and 23 assists, the highest assist total that we have there. A phenomenal performance from this man, who I'm so glad we brought in real life, I must say. But those attributes obviously look absolutely outstanding. For a 25-year-old as well, he is going to have a long and illustrious career, hopefully, at Manchester United. It also brings me great pleasure that Ryan Cassidy, a Liverpool fan, has helped me win the Premier League with Manchester United for the first time this season. But that goes without saying. Anyway, how did Braga get on? Braga also had a very good year. They finished in 3rd place, above Sporting and above Santa Clara, who were almost just there. They were still some way off Porto and Benfica, but that's obviously because of the players that Benfica and Porto have. Of course, we know that their team actually really suited these roles, and they've done very well. Some lines which I never thought I'd ever see there, so that's really good. Team-wise, we'll have a look at competitions first, actually. They were knocked down the 2nd round by Celtic of the Euro Cup. The Portuguese Cup knocked out the 6th round and knocked out the 3rd phase there by Porto and Benfica. So unfortunately, they were knocked out early by the 2 higher teams in Portugal. But I still think this is a very good season. I really do. And if we do have a look at goals, how many did they score? So Ricardo Horta, who is a left winger, scored 26 goals. Didn't get as many assists though. Paulinho, who looks like he was on the other side, managed to pick up 16 goals. 14 for Wilson Edouard. Oh no, Paulinho was the striker, sorry. And Wilson Edouard scored 14. So they managed to get their wingers scoring a lot more goals than Manchester United did, rather than the striker. But assist-wise, the AMC again with 15 assists. So really high total for that attacking midfielder on the support role. So maybe that needs to be the heartbeat of your team. And that is the reason why Manchester United was so successful with El-Loco, was because of how good Bruno Fernandes was. Average ratings then, as we can see, the AMC was the highest as well, with Horta, who obviously scored the most goals right after him, 7.22 and a 7.16. And what's curious about that is probably the same with this. Bruno Fernandes had the highest average rating. Victor Lindelof was actually up there alongside him too. So a phenomenal season for Victor Lindelof, who now is worth a lot of money as well. One thing I want to do check though is Paul Pogba was not suiting this role. How did Paul Pogba actually do? Because we didn't see a player who necessarily would fit in that role, and I am right in thinking that they played Paul Pogba in that role, so they must have. He still scored 7 goals and 2 assists. Were they penalties? It doesn't look like it. No penalties whatsoever. So he still did really well. To be honest, 31 games, 7.33 average rating. Still did really well. Who was the final centre-back that they potentially would have put in? If we go down the list, it looks like it was our man, Axel Tuanzebe. Now that is rather curious, because they've managed to win the league with Axel Tuanzebe at centre-back. A player who I don't think is good enough to win the Premier League. But he's done very well. He's now worth 34 million. So happy days, Manchester United. So there we have it then. That is 3 for 3 for Ryan Cassidy. He really strikes lucky, I guess, with these tactics. Nah, I'm only kidding. He is obviously a tactical genius. I hope you agree. I know you all agree who is in my Discord. You know he is the guy you always tag when you're asking questions about tactics. But massive thank you again to Ryan Cassidy for producing these tactics. Again, if you want to download them, the link to the Discord is in there. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you enjoy the way I do these things and look at these tactics. Please drop a like on the video if you can. That would be amazing. Much support as you possibly can for this channel going forward. That would be absolutely fantastic. And please subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. And guys, I will see you for the next one. Bye bye. Well, thank you very much for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, there's another one below that I have picked for you to have a look at. Also, if you'd like to sponsor me as a content creator by pledging to my Patreon page, you can do just that by following the link below and be like one of these wonderful people. Thank you.